senior member of the Māori Caucus. I mean, can you give us some reflection about the context or why she made it?
No, this is entirely her decision, and it's taken us all by surprise. But her reasons will be her reasons, and I guess you'll have to ask her the very reasons why she's done it. No, pāpauri ana mātou ko te kāhui Māori o te rōpū reipa, mo te kāhui whānui o te rōpū reipa. Engari, nāna tēnei whakaritenga, mā koutou ia pātai haha ona take.
No, it's a decision that Meka has made. As I said, it would be Meka herself that has to be asked for her reasoning and why she's decided to do this. But we've just got to move on. We've got a whole lot of people in that region that are affected by the cost of living and also, of course, the recent weather events. And so we've got to be focused on looking after them. Well, I mean, that was the decision that she made. Yeah, well...
Yeah. Look, no, I don't think it's damaging. It's obviously something that we wouldn't want to... I don't think it's something that we didn't want to have happen. But, we had a conversation yesterday and everyone's just saying, well, we've still got to just carry on. Yeah, and look, the Labour caucus is just keen to get on and carry on doing the work. Like we say, we're dealing with the cost of living issues, we're dealing with the cyclone recovery issues, and everyone was pretty much of one thought, okay, well, she's made her decision, but we've got to carry on and do what we have to do.
Hang on, who hasn't? Yeah. No.
No. Sorry.
To run in the seat for Labour. I know the selection process hasn't been done, but she made that commitment and it's now done a U-turn. All the conversations still in play about whether she was in.
Well, up until yesterday, we believed that she was going to be standing for Labour.
And she'd made that commitment and word to either Willie or someone else?
Well, we just, as a Māori caucus, all understood that she was going to be standing for Labour. So, look, this is her decision, and it's like we say, it's taken us all by surprise, but it's her decision, and like we say, we're just going to move on. No, she wasn't here yesterday. Look, I don't know. It would have to look. I mean, that's people ask for leave, apply to leave from the whips. So yeah. It's a question for me.
Okay, hang on, wait. We haven't got much order here.
Had his problems. Now you have effectively unrepresented in the cyclone recovery. I mean, what do you say to the people about Labour's presence there and what they're going to do?
We've got Kieran McAnulty, who is well-equipped to be acting at the moment. Chris Hipkins will make determinations around who will hold that lead Hawke's Bay role next week when he returns more permanently. The message is that absolutely we are not going to let this distract us. We are focused on the weather event recovery for that region, and that is what we need to be focused on.
Do you have specific advice or understanding about whether her seat has been vacated under the Electoral Amendment Act?
At this point in time, we have no evidence in front of us to show us that that is the case. We haven't seen any letter, and that would be for the Speaker.
Yeah. But at the moment, all we received is a resignation from the party. From the Labour Party.
Okay, we'll go back.
Just on my Pāti Māori, you were at that marae last week announcing an iwi-led response which came out of no other uplift, high-profile Hastings Hospital uplift. That marae was used today by Meka to launch this new chapter of her political career. Is there significance in the location, using that same marae?
Well,
how do you feel? Because you were there last week.
Yeah, well, that's her marae, so she's every right to make an announcement about herself at her own marae.
Was she there, though?
Last week, no, she wasn't.
Why wasn't she there?
Oh, look, you'd have to ask her. Look, I don't know, but local MPs were informed and invited, but...
The Māori MP for Hastings was there.
Yeah, well, that's a decision for her.
Nō te rā suru. Kia whakaro ka pēhea a parikura ki tēnei hūtua.
Well, e kore e tai a parikura ki a kōrero mō nā ki ae nei. Engari, e pāpauri ana mātou o te rōpū reipa, ona hoa mahi Māori. Koe te mea nui, horekau mātou i te hihia kia karo atu i ngā take o tērā takiwā e pāniki te marangai i tau atu. Koe te mea nui. Ka hore. Kua ohore re mātou.
Wasn't Prime Minister's reaction to this when you talked to the Prime Minister? Was he livid that this happened while he was overseas? Just a general reaction?
Disappointment, clearly surprise, but also really quick to point out that we've got to continue to focus on what's important for the region. And so, that really was his reaction. Well, as I said, she hasn't had a conversation with the leadership about why she made this decision. I'm sure at some point in time, and I hope that we will get a chance to sit down, but that hasn't happened yet.
Well, first of all, we'll find a candidate to stand in Ikaroa Rāwhiti and we'll set out to win it. But we have to wait for the election to see what the outcome is. We're not going to make any decisions or speculate on potential outcomes now. It'll just be premature.
But would you say
Yeah, I tell you what, one of the things around Māoridom is that, we're all related and, sometimes these sort of things happen. Like we say, it's disappointing. It's something we'd prefer not to have happened. But in terms of doing the work as parliamentarians, doing the work on the ground for the people of Ikaroa Rāwhiti, we just have to get on and do it. Oh, look, as we've said, we are disappointed in what she's done. It's taken us by surprise. But she was a valued colleague within the Māori caucus and the wider caucus.
Should she have shown you the respect of many years of being colleagues and friends and being part of that Māori caucus to give you a heads up?
Look, we're just not going to sort of speculate on her motives or the way she did things. Obviously, look, it was her decision. She did things the way she wanted to do it, and we just have to accept that.
Did the Labour Party show that you
I think so. She was a minister. She was a minister. Then she had her ministerial responsibilities removed. She came back as a minister. I think that shows that not only did we respect her, but also with the elevation of other Māori women that and we've got a huge Māori minister contingent. I think it's showing huge respect to Māoridom in general.
Minister, we can try and downplay this, but the fact of the matter is, one of your ministers is defected to another party 6 months from a general election. Do you acknowledge it looks like a real criminal bus?
Yeah, well, they're not. Look, this is a decision of an individual. The rest of the caucus are very strong. We're very committed to serving the people of Aotearoa in general, as well as specifically the people of Ikaroa Rāwhiti, and heading into the general election. It's something we'd prefer not to have happened, but it has, and we've just got to get on with things.
No.
Sorry, what was it?
It's certainly not the case. That these things happen across political parties sometimes in different ways, it's just the nature of, I guess, any employment environment. This one's much more public than others, and so that's just the way things go.
Minister, we understand any conversations with you or perhaps others in the Māori caucus of particular policies and things that have happened perhaps since Ms. Hipkins came into the leadership that she's been particularly opposed to that might have been instrumental in this decision?
No, like I say, yesterday was the first we heard about it, and it took us all by surprise. So, no, there haven't been any conversations of that nature.
Minister, we understand.
We've got one on this side. Oh.
Kia neke atu ki Te Pāti Māori, horekau ki tāku nei mōhio.
So we understand Te Pāti Māori are intending to speak here and keep her on as an MP. Are you comfortable with that?
Any conversations that Te Pāti Māori has with the Speaker are conversations that they own. We don't have any influence over, and so that's up to them.
How would you describe your relationship with Te Pāti Māori at the moment?
Our relationship, we do the business. They're obviously not the Labour Party, and we just engage with them respectfully like we do other parties.
Can I just clarify? So she is staying on as an MP, she won't be in Labour, but she will still be coming to the debating chamber? How do you explain?
She can still be an independent MP, and so at this point in time, we've got no reason to believe otherwise, and so that's what it looks like it's going to happen. We haven't seen a letter. We haven't received any evidence of a letter. So,
Did you interpret that as in principle crossing the floor rather than physically crossing the floor? Is that how you interpret it?
oh, look, we don't want to over-interpret things right now because we haven't got all the answers.
Do you think Meka's clear?
Well, I can't speak for Meka. Well, I can't speak for Meka. We just have to wait to see what, I guess, comes out of the next 1 or 2 days. We've got no evidence to suggest that. Yeah.
Just, I guess on that, I mean, do you have any evidence which give this brings us out as some sort of wider point of principle here, or that perhaps it's more of a personal decision, with something, or
Look, no, you're just going to have to ask Meka what her motivation, her reasons are. Like I said, yesterday was the first I'd heard of this, the murmurings, the rumours and that. We had no idea. And like I say, we're disappointed, but her reasons are her reasons, and you'll have to ask her, what her motivation was.
Meka's not doing a stand-up. Meka's not doing an organised stand-up in Hawke's Bay. Do you think she owes it to her constituents to front up and explain, given they now maybe don't have an MP?
Look, those are questions for Meka. We're not going to speculate. She's moved on. We don't want to create bad blood with her. We're not going, we just respect her. Well, that's a decision for her.
So the corridor and the facts where it's in Te Pāti is that Meka should have gone into Cabinet and that they were disappointed that she wasn't promoted back into Cabinet. That is what they're saying. So in terms of treatment, maybe treatment of her, we do feel that there is tension from the voter that she should have gone back.
Well, look, those are decisions for the Prime Minister, but, we have the largest ever contingent of Māori ministers. We have more Māori ministers outside of Cabinet as well. I think that as a team we've worked really well together for Māori interests, but her and other people's feelings are for them, but as a government we just want to get on and do the business for our people.
Māori Caucus disappointed she wasn't allocated into Cabinet?
Oh, look, I'm not going to say what the Māori Caucus thinks.
That's our hypothetical that we're not going to answer now. We need to see what rolls out over the course of the next day or two. That's a hypothetical. We're not invoking the waka jumping legislation. No, of course we don't want a by-election. That is not what that region needs right now, given everything that they've gone through. And so we wouldn't want to support a by-election. Yeah.
So when will the process be kick in to choose a replacement?
A Labour Party candidate, you're asking?
That's a matter for the party.
Yeah.
How long do our whānau need to wait before we see what they will do?
Yeah. Well, given that she resigned about 3 hours ago, it'll take a little bit of time to determine who the next candidate will be. I'm sure we won't be short on qualified and capable
What
people.
will be the process?
Oh, look, that's a process for the party. We'll have to go through those.
What does it say about
Oh, look, we're just going to go out and contest each of the Māori electorates as we always do. And we'll see what happens come October the 14th, but we're out there to win all of those seats.
Any way of payback to 2017 when they were went list only and was pretty hard to get more entirely out of Parliament?
No, look, politics is politics. You just go out and you do your best to win for the party so that your party as a government can go and get the results for the whole country, and for us as Māori MPs, also specifically for, get good outcomes for Māoridom. No, I think he might have been taken by surprise himself.
Has the leadership's experiences in the last 5 hours or so that there aren't any other MPs that are considering on the side moving on?
There aren't. We're confident that there aren't. Well, we have to, we're going to be fighting this election hard, like they will be. And so any decisions around who we might have relationships with after the election are for that time.
When was the last time, how often do you speak to the Party Māori leadership both from the Parliament?
Oh, I can't speak for the Prime Minister how often he's met with them, but we engage when we need to engage.
Are those channels of communication been fairly open?
I think there was a meeting scheduled for earlier this week, but like I say, we engage when we need to engage.
Yeah.
Are you at the gutted end or the angry end?
Neither. Look, this is what's happened, and I've been in politics long enough to know that these sorts of things do occasionally happen, and you just have to, swallow them and move on. It's similar when Jacinda stepped down. You take a breath and you go, okay, we've still got a job to do, and I think we showed when we had the transition from Jacinda to Chris Hipkins that as a party we just moved on, and it'll be the same in this circumstance as well.
It's certainly a disappointment, as I said, but as Calvin has said, we've just got to move on. We've got too much mahi to do, too much is at stake, too many people are relying on us. So one person has decided to leave, and that was her decision. That doesn't stop the wheels from turning or the work needing to be done.
So she's a final member at the end of the day if they will with you as well.
Well, that's what I said. As Māori, we're all related. These things happen. Sometimes whānau have falling out, but it doesn't mean to say you excommunicate people. It's just this has happened. We're just going to have to move on.
Kia ora.
Kia ora, thank you.